Minicamp is upon us. News is flying that Dillon Gabriel was pretty solid, but that Shedeur stole the show. Granted, it's defenseless reps and T-shirts and shorts, but this is a football town. We've been starving for a quarterback and bereft of talent since 99, almost on the entire whole. There were 55 other rookies there who participated, so even though it's early, wanted to get you guys' quick thoughts on minicamp. I'll start this time because I have an 8-second take on this. I'm glad the quarterbacks look good. They got to show me a lot more. The fact that we have a bunch of them feels great, and I hope somebody steps up and shows they can be a starter. Noah, you're our resident football guy. I think E kicked us off last time. What do you think?
Yeah, I got a couple nice little talking points out of rookie minicamp that I thought were interesting. The main one, of course, being as well as the resident football guy, but also the resident Shedeur Sanders super stan, shall we say. Shedeur lit up the show. Multiple different media members said that he was the best rookie out of all the rookies there. Not that reps in a helmet with shorts and a jersey and that kind of thing really matters. We've seen great reps before, but it's all good signs. I want to give a quick shout out to our second pick of the draft, Carson Sweshinger. He had a pick on Dillon Gabriel in 7-on-7. That was highlighted all over Brown's social media. They just did not show that it was Dillon Gabriel that threw the ball, which was funny to me. There's a couple talking points I want to get your guys' take on, though. Mason Graham puked during practice, and it turned into this whole media fury storm that he's going to bust and he's not conditioned and he doesn't have what it takes to be in the NFL. Do you put any type of stock in that whatsoever? I thought it was a very, very lazy take.
Yeah, no, the take came from a guy, by the way, who had been off Mason Graham the entire time. He's hated on Graham. He's said that it's a reach for the number 5 pick, which that may be true. But no, to read into anything at this point at minicamp, I think is dumb.
Yeah, he's got nerves. He's working hard. It's getting warm. No, you played sports, contact sport. Guys puke all the time. I wasn't a puker, but I played hockey, and it's just, skating drills. There's always one or two. Go get your face mask up and get a garbage can.
Yeah, conditioning during baseball. They had their faces in garbage cans. Same thing.
Oh, yeah.
You see it on every level at every level. You see it anywhere on any type of possession, any type of anything. So I just think it's super lazy and it's a super lame thing to point out. You've got 5 guys running D-line drills at rapid speed for 10 minutes. Of course, it's his first football practice in a year-ish, real football practice, not the Senior Bowl bullshit or whatever they have that they have going on. I don't know. I thought it was a lazy take. The other thing I wanted to touch on was that not one, but 2 Ohio.
Did we lose him, E?
He is frozen. So I will say my take coming out of minicamp, you have the guys that are trying out. There were a lot of wide receivers on that list, which I thought was interesting to note, and kind of exciting in a way, because we're not completely done at wide receiver. So it should be interesting to see what we do there and who makes the cut. I kind of wish, I think Noah shared the sentiment with us before, but I kind of wish Hard Knocks was focused on the Browns this season.
It would be fun with that quarterback room, especially.
Yeah.
I'm back. If you didn't know and didn't watch the episode on Monday, I'm moving. So Spectrum must be like, don't give this guy any of the gigs because my Wi-Fi has been spotty all of this show. Regardless, I wanted to shout out, we had 2 Ohio college receivers that had made the roster for minicamp for preseason, and that is Luke Floria and Cade McDonald. Cade is from Miami of Ohio, originally from Illinois. Luke is from Kent State, played football at Menor.
Luke
had Floria, Floria.
Gotcha. It's not Floria?
Maybe it's Floria. I don't know.
I just had to get you back for the for the whatever his name was, Maliki.
Go watch the 4-hour cut of us going
Please don't.
crazy during the NFL draft. That is an absolute hell of a watch if you are bored and have 4 hours of your time. Luke, though, had 44 receptions, 688 yards, and 7 touchdowns on 15 yards per reception. He was a bright spot. There was a lot of good talk and a lot of good clips of him coming out of camp. So I just wanted to shout out the Ohio guys as potential preseason names.
Wait, he averaged 15 yards per reception?
Yep.
That's interesting, especially playing at, you said Kent State?
Kent State, 688 yards, 7 touchdowns, 15 yards per reception.
It's a weird didn't win a game. That's such a weird stat line.
Weird stat line for sure.
Huh. Okay. Cool.
What do you guys got from rookie minicamp? Anything?
You covered it. I was going to hit on the kids from Ohio and the interest of the fact that there's 55 guys who aren't named Shedeur Sanders who are also competing, and that there's a glut of wide receivers because I feel like that's a big area of need. So you guys, I don't want to say you stole my thunder. I said I had an 8-second take and stuck to it, and then you guys hit on the only other notes that I had.
The only thing that I'll say is that this is the time not to overreact. Especially Browns media tends to just try to pull at anything, and you'll see that more, especially now that the Cavs have exited and the Guardians are, there's not much going on there. Shout out Corey Kluber being back, by the way. Yeah. But now is not the time to overreact. They're not in pads. This is the beginning of a very long road. I think excitement should be there, definitely, as Browns fans, but to say, oh man, Shedeur threw a pick, he's going to be awful, whatever. Like those storylines, we just don't need right now.
There's 2 storylines that came out that don't specifically deal with rookies that I think could be good talking points for us. First, I'll give it to Tim Lyons for asking the question and reminding me, how do you guys feel about Cleveland turning their heads on Nick Chubb? Eric, I know we did a show on this, but just to touch on it again, because Andrew Berry came out in the media and officially basically closed the door on it, for lack of a better phrase. I want to know what you guys think, man.
Locker rooms in the NFL need leaders. We talked a lot about how Myles Garrett isn't a leader, and we wanted him to step up. Nick Chubb was, and everybody in that locker room gravitated towards him. He led by example. He led on the field. I think they'll miss him. It's not insurmountable, especially with the running backs that we drafted. But if you're asking me if all things are equal, would I rather have him on the roster or off? The answer is on. I think he did a lot for the franchise, and I'd love to see him black in the orange and brown.
I mean, my take hasn't changed. I don't see where he fits anymore. We signed 2 running backs. If he were like, I said this take on that show, John, but obviously you weren't there. If he were a third down specialist, yeah, let's sign him. But he's not. He's not that guy. I get it having leadership, but I think it does a disservice to Nick Chubb, who wants to get real playing time, which he could get somewhere else, to say, hey, we want you in the locker room. You're basically a mascot. He's not a mascot. He's still a player that, frankly, he could be capable of contributing to a team. It's just not the right fit for our team anymore. And I think it's in the best interest for both sides to just move on at this point.
And I'm somewhere in the middle of both of you, where I think that locker rooms need leaders. Chubb is the definition of that. But I also think it's not fair to Chubb's career to bring him here to be a mascot of the orange and brown instead of a tried and true player. You drafted 2 running backs, both that were high on your board. You told Shedeur that after you drafted Sampson that you were going to grab Sampson and then go grab him because they couldn't believe you were still on the board. That was on the phone call they had before they officially drafted him. You drafted those 2 guys to be Chubb and Hunt, potentially 2.0, and run that type of committee again. And that means no Chubb. So it sucks. I think it might be a bad decision in the long run for culture and all of the different things you said, but I ultimately don't know if he really fits here anymore after the draft.
By the way, unless you guys had more on Chubb.
Nope.
The schedule was released officially, and I can't remember what our bet was, Sean. Did I say we're going to win 6 games? Because I think at this point I might as well just buy you dumplings looking at the schedule.
I'll take them. I felt this moment coming because we knew what the schedule was before they announced it. We just didn't know the order of the games, and I was like, bro.
Yeah, but I think the order does matter a little bit here because we start with a gauntlet, which is the Bengals, Ravens, Packers, Lions, Vikings. So right out of the gate, playoff teams all around the board. And then our next game is the Steelers, then Dolphins. Like, it doesn't get any easier either. That's a rough way to potentially start.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think the over-under was 6. I think 6 wins it for me still is what we settled on, but I could be wrong about that. But yeah, either way.
You're 5 and below. I'm 6 and above. So if they win 6 or more, you owe me. If they win 5 or less, I owe you. We have it on tape. We could double.
Yeah, we'll yank it. Yeah.
For sure. The other thing I wanted to talk about real quick that I just wanted to touch on in general, JOK out for the year before the season even starts. Any thoughts on that? I feel like we kind of saw some of this coming with the Schlesinger pick and with some of the signings, Jerome Baker and company coming back or getting signed or coming and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
we knew him ever playing again was going to be a big mountain to climb. This doesn't surprise me. I'm just hoping he gets healthy as he can, as quick as he can, but no extra thoughts, just thoughts and prayers to him. And it's a long road, man.
Yeah, that's my exact take, is no thoughts on the football side of things, but to him personally, I mean, I hope he has a recovery. I mean, that's watching what the Steelers went through with
Shazier.
Shazier, thank you, Ryan Shazier, former Buckeye. I know this isn't as bad or gruesome, but these are things that affect a person's life potentially for the rest of their life, and that's a scary thought. They're putting their livelihoods on the line every week, and I think sometimes we overlook that fact because it is a dangerous sport, and we know that there are ramifications beyond. Most people are retired by like 30 in this sport. There's a lot of life left to live after that. So I really hope he gets better soon.
Yeah. And I just want to echo that sentiment as well. I saw this coming. Schlesinger called him Coach Jeremiah or something like that, or Coach JOK in a presser early before this news broke. So I had a feeling, but I didn't want to put too much stock into it. I just hope he's better. I don't think it's necessarily he's even super hurt. I think it's more so no one wants to clear him after such a serious injury that could be re-aggravated in football, despite the fact that maybe JOK wants to play football still and still wants to go out there on the field. It's one of those things where a doctor isn't going to put their career on the line or in the same sense, put a guy's life on the line as
Someone's
well.
Life, yeah.
Yeah.